Stop scrolling. What if everything you thought you knew about building a meaningful life was fundamentally wrong? There are 12 ancient rules distilled for the modern era that reveal why some people thrive in chaos while others are simply consumed by it. Today, we're diving into the profound wisdom of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. This isn't just another self-help guide. It's a powerful framework, blending timeless traditions with cutting-edge science, designed to arm you against the relentless chaos of our times. Peterson challenges a deeply ingrained belief that happiness is life's ultimate goal. Instead, he argues, our true purpose lies in the pursuit of meaning. He sees this not as an abstract ideal, but as the essential antidote to the disorder that defines our modern world. Think of it like yin and yang, chaos and order. To find balance, you must bravely confront life's inevitable chaos with structure and purpose. The best way to forge this structure isn't by chasing happiness directly, but by seeking meaning. It's a defense against the suffering woven into the fabric of existence itself. When suffering inevitably arrives, you face a stark choice: withdraw and let the darkness within consume you, or confront it, challenging those impulses and redefining your path. Peterson delivers this guidance through powerful essays that weave together abstract ethical principles, deep psychology, ancient mythology, and raw personal anecdotes. They're all designed to help you, in this chaotic age, navigate your own journey. Rule number 1: stand up straight and pull your shoulders back confidently. This isn't just about posture. It's about understanding a fundamental truth of our world. Hierarchy is an undeniable part of human societies and the natural world around us. You've heard the term pecking order, right? But do you know where it actually comes from? The term originated in the 1920s when a Norwegian zoologist observed farm chickens. He discovered they live by a strict hierarchical system. The strongest birds at the top ate first, while the weaker, exhausted, feather-shedding birds at the bottom settled for crumbs. But this isn't limited to chickens. This natural phenomenon extends across the entire animal kingdom. Take crabs, for example. In the ocean or in captivity, they engage in fierce battles for the best hiding spots. What's even more fascinating is what scientists found after these conflicts. Winners and losers literally have chemical differences in their brains. Winners enjoy a chemical balance that gives them an advantage. Losers, however, show different compositions that translate into weaker behaviors. It's not just an arrangement, it's a biological foundation for natural interactions. Winners have higher serotonin levels and octopamine, leading to a more upright, confident posture. Losers show increased octopamine, making them stressed and hesitant. This contrast doesn't just affect the moment, it dictates future confrontations. Crabs with high serotonin look larger and more intimidating, often causing stressed crabs to submit without a fight. And these dynamics aren't exclusive to animals. In human life, hierarchy plays a strikingly similar role. Studies show that individuals suffering from depression or alcohol addiction often shy away from competitive situations, creating a vicious cycle of inactivity and low self-esteem. In stark contrast, those who achieve successive victories display body language that radiates confidence. This isn't just an external expression. It actually reinforces a chain of success and leaves a powerful impression on everyone around them. Just like in the animal kingdom, humans constantly compare themselves, assessing intelligence and status through physical and behavioral cues. So, if you want to enhance your presence and gain an advantage, remember the golden rule. Hold your head high and adopt the posture of a winner. Rule number 2. Take care of yourself as you would care for the dearest people to your heart. Imagine a beloved plant. If its leaves started to wilt, you'd rush to water it. Move it into the sun, wouldn't you? Now, think about yourself. When you feel tired or stressed, do you treat yourself with the same urgent care you give that plant? Surprisingly, many of us neglect our basic needs, pouring all our energy into caring for others or even trivial things. It begs the question, why do we often care more about what's around us than about ourselves? Part of the answer lies in our continuous awareness of our flaws, which can lead to self-loathing. This feeling might push us to unnecessarily punish ourselves, making us feel undeserving of rest or happiness. In Eastern philosophy, the yin and yang embody balance, light and dark, each containing a part of the other. Harmony isn't about eliminating darkness, but finding a healthy balance, avoiding extremes. For example, parents trying to shield a child from all bad things might over-control, creating new problems. The lesson: it's futile to strive for perfect. So, take care of yourself. Don't fight chaos, because that's a battle you can't win. Instead of just doing what makes you happy, try doing what's best for you. As a child, you might not have wanted to brush your teeth or wear gloves, but they were necessary. As an adult, you must set goals that define who you are and the path you want to take. Then find the steps and actions that best suit you. Rule number 3. Bad company can drag you down, so choose your friends wisely. Peterson shares a poignant childhood experience about a friend who never left his hometown. This friend integrated with a group of peers who never found success. Returning to visit, Peterson witnessed his friend's slow and sad decline, a symbol of youthful potential gradually filled with resentment and disappointment. It became painfully clear his unsuccessful friends were dragging him down, hindering his progress in life. This phenomenon isn't unique. It can happen to anyone, anywhere. In a work environment, this dynamic can worsen. When a non-diligent person joins a high-performing team, a manager might hope they'll adopt good habits. But studies show the opposite is more likely. Bad habits spread, negatively affecting everyone's performance. This is why rule number 3 emphasizes the critical importance of surrounding yourself with supportive friends. These friendships bring real positive change. Choosing your friends carefully isn't selfishness or vanity. It's a smart investment in your future. Supportive friendships thrive on balanced exchange. They're there when you need support, and you're there for them, whether overcoming a setback or achieving a goal. This dynamic doesn't just foster individual success, it creates amazing social achievements within a team. When Peterson left his hometown for university, he joined a group of ambitious, like-minded people. Together, they achieved academic success, founded a newspaper, and led the student union. You know you're surrounded by good friends when they don't tolerate you dwelling in negativity. On the contrary, they motivate you to overcome difficulties and get back on track because they genuinely want the best for you. Rule number 4. Progress is made by comparing yourself to your past achievements, not to others. The old concept of being a big fish in a small pond is now utterly obsolete thanks to the internet. Today, we're part of an interconnected global community. No matter who you are, you will always find someone who excels you in some field. This brings us to the crucial topic of self-criticism. Being critical of yourself is extremely important. Without it, we lack motivation, lose the drive to improve, and life seems purposeless. Fortunately, humans have a natural tendency to see the present as imperfect, while the future holds great promise. This isn't random. It's part of our built-in mechanism to stay motivated and push ourselves forward. However, self-criticism turns destructive when it slips into comparing ourselves to others. These comparisons can shatter our self-confidence, hindering personal development and transforming a constructive tool into a crushing obstacle. When this happens, we quickly lose sight of real progress, adopting a binary thinking pattern, either complete success or utter failure. This blinds us to gradual, small, yet profoundly significant improvements. Comparisons with others also make us focus on and exaggerate only one aspect of our lives, ignoring other achievements. For example, if you only looked at your work performance and felt less productive than colleagues, you might feel like a total failure. But broaden your perspective, and you might discover significant progress in your family life or other vital areas. For this reason, the golden rule is clear. Do not compare yourself to others. Instead, assess your progress based on your past achievements. When you compare your current results to what you achieved before, you can objectively measure your progress, fueling your motivation. And if you ever find yourself completely satisfied with your achievements, consider it a warning sign. You might need to challenge yourself more, set bigger, bolder goals, and push yourself out of your comfort zone for further development. So, how do you truly measure your growth without getting trapped in the comparison game? Imagine yourself as an inspector meticulously reviewing a house. Start by examining everything from the roof down to the foundations. Classify each problem. Is it just cosmetic, needing minor adjustments, or a structural issue requiring fundamental intervention? Before giving your final approval, prepare an organized list of improvements. This detailed approach keeps you busy analyzing and developing yourself, significantly reducing preoccupation with comparing yourself to others. Instead, the competition becomes internal, focused on achieving your own goals. Rule number 5. It is the parent's duty to raise a responsible and kind child. Have you ever watched parents ignore a child causing absolute chaos and wondered, are they negligent or following some clever strategy to let the child vent? Child-rearing methods have certainly evolved, influenced by the age-old debate of nature versus nurture and differing views on human instincts. In the 18th century, Jean-Jacques Rousseau suggested our primitive ancestors, much like children, were inherently kind and innocent, believing that civilization introduced wars and violence. But with scientific progress, we now understand that humans are born with aggressive instincts. These require guidance and education to transform them into civilized, balanced behavior. Think about it. Children often display clear aggression on playgrounds, yet most work environments seem calm and organized. This gap highlights the pivotal role of parents. They bear the profound responsibility of teaching their inherently aggressive child how to become a balanced, kind-hearted adult and a positive contributor to society. And this brings us to rule number 5. It is the parent's duty to raise a responsible and kind child. To raise a responsible and beloved human being. This might seem like a huge challenge, especially since no one likes to be seen as the bad guy. However, children often display aggressive behaviors due to their natural instinct to push boundaries, to discover where social rules end. Thus, it's the parent's responsibility to be firm and clear in drawing these lines. This task might not seem enjoyable, but consider this. If children don't learn values and boundaries from a loving, understanding parent, they will later learn through harsh experiences that lack love and empathy. Here are 3 main ways for effective parenting. 1. Reduce the number of rules. Too many rules frustrate children. It's better to reduce them to clear, easy-to-apply core principles. For example, don't bite, don't hit, and don't kick anyone except in self-defense. 2. Use the minimum force necessary. Punishment should be effective, fair, and its results clear and direct. It needs to be proportionate to the offense, strict enough to teach, but never cruel. Sometimes, a look of disappointment might be enough. Other times, firmer actions, like withholding video games for a week, might be required. 3. Work as a team. Children are smart and often try to manipulate one parent against the other. Therefore, it's vital for parents to present a united front, with clear agreement on parenting decisions. And remember, every parent makes mistakes. But with a supportive partner, errors become clearer and correcting them faster, ensuring a more balanced and stable upbringing environment. Rule number 6. The world is full of injustice. But we should not blame others for our fate in life. He identified 3 main responses to confronting life's absurdity. Childlike ignorance. sensual pleasure, or continuing the struggle. Tolstoy concluded that struggling and continuing to face life was the most honest option, though he saw his own ongoing struggle as a sign of personal weakness. But is life really just a list of suffering? Or is there another way to navigate? No matter how harsh your experiences, don't choose to blame the world. Instead, choose to face challenges. Find meaning in striving and overcoming difficulties, because that is the very essence of life. This is the core of rule number 6. Take responsibility for your personal life before you judge the world around you. Russian writer Alexander Solzhenitsyn provides a powerful example of this principle. Despite unimaginable suffering, he refused to let life's harshness rob him of his humanity. A communist who fought against the Nazis, Solzhenitsyn found himself imprisoned by his own country after the war. As if life in the brutal Gulag camps wasn't enough, he was diagnosed with cancer while serving his sentence. Instead of drowning in despair or blaming circumstances, he looked inward. Solzhenitsyn recognized his own role in supporting the communist regime that imprisoned him. But he didn't stop there. He decided to invest the remainder of his life in creating something of profound value and meaning. His writings, documenting the horrors of the Gulag, influenced millions worldwide and became a living testament to his inner strength and desire for change. Solzhenitsyn's message is clear. Instead of blaming the world for your misfortunes, turn to yourself. Take responsibility for fixing what you can fix. Make a positive impact that restores your sense of value and purpose. His famous book, The Gulag Archipelago, wasn't just a historical account. It was an explicit, powerful indictment of the system he lived through. This book played a pivotal role in undermining remaining intellectual support for Stalin globally. Rule number 7. Pursue meaningful goals instead of immediate gratification. Have you heard the story of the monkey that fell into a trap because of its greed for a candy jar? A piece of biscuit lay inside a jar, with an opening wide enough for the monkey's hand to enter, but too narrow to allow its hand to withdraw while holding the biscuit. Here's the dilemma. If the monkey insisted on keeping the biscuit, it would remain stuck. The lesson is simple. Greed has a price. The monkey was trapped because it couldn't let go of a small piece of candy. But isn't this strikingly similar to human behavior? How many people chase daily pleasures that bring no real benefit? And how many refuse to make small sacrifices that would be in their long-term interest? One side effect of viewing the world as a state of despair is that it facilitates justifying a life built on immediate gratification. People believe this might make life more bearable. And if these pleasures bring happiness, can they really be harmful? This is the very logic that justifies overeating, excessive drinking, drug abuse, and other self-harming behaviors. But there's another side to this. The concept of sacrifice, the kind that requires giving up something in the present to achieve the best possible future. This concept dates back to ancient times, tribes preserving food for harsh winters, or helping community members who couldn't hunt or farm. Our suffering in this life represents the sacrifice we must make to experience other joys. And this leads us to rule number 7. Pursue meaningful goals instead of immediate gratification. You might think this is a simple concept that most people practice. We dedicate time and effort to work hard now for a future vacation or summer relaxation. But it's not just about sacrificing for personal gains. There are many things, big and small, we can sacrifice for the greater good. And the greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. We can understand this better by contemplating the lotus flower. This flower begins its life at the bottom of a lake, slowly ascending from the depths of darkness until it breaks through the water's surface and opens its petals under the sun's rays. In other words, if you commit to a specific goal and are willing to sacrifice to achieve it, you will find the reward in the end. Rule number 8. Stop lying and be truthful to yourself. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that the strength of the human spirit could be measured by its ability to endure harsh truths. Even though truth is considered one of our highest values, we are constantly drowning in lies, both with ourselves and with others. One of the main reasons for this is our continuous pursuit of what we believe we desire. Austrian psychologist Alfred Adler referred to these as life's lies. They manifest in the actions and words we use to try and transform an ill-considered goal into reality. For example, you might imagine your retirement on a secluded beach in Mexico, margaritas flowing freely. This goal might be so alluring that you convince yourself of its possibility, even as reality increasingly distances it. Perhaps you develop an allergy to the sun, sand, or drinks, yet you continue to deceive yourself about this ideal dream, despite it being nothing more than a fantasy, because you haven't taken any concrete steps to make it real. These illusions are often linked to our ability to convince ourselves that we already know everything. This view is particularly foolish because it suppresses our natural desire to learn and grow. But what's worse is what happens when we live a life of lies and are unwilling to admit the truth. And this sets rule number 8. Stop lying and be truthful to yourself. This doesn't necessarily mean abandoning all your ambitious goals, but you must be flexible. Your goals need to be realistic and reflect the truth. When your understanding and perception of the world change, your goals must also change. And if you feel your life has gone off track, it's time to re-examine the truth you're following. The one that makes you feel weak, rejected, or worthless. Acknowledge your personal truth. This is the way back to the right path. Chapter 1. Rule number 9. Assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Thousands of years after his death, the Greek philosopher Socrates is still considered one of the smartest minds history has ever seen. One of the main reasons for this was his deep belief that the only thing he was sure of was that he knew nothing. This idea was a key motivator for his open conversations and his profound openness to learning. When you engage in an honest conversation, the process is strikingly similar to deep thinking. To think about matters is, in essence, to listen to yourself while exploring multiple perspectives on a particular issue. In a way, you create a dialogue within your mind. This can be difficult because you need to accurately represent both sides and maintain objectivity in your conclusion. This is the main reason why people want to talk to each other. Conversation makes it easier for them to express opinions and reach conclusions. Even children do this. If one child thinks playing on the roof would be fun, they might suggest this to a friend. The friend might then point out the potential dangers. The ensuing conversation provides the child who proposed the original idea an opportunity to absorb the new perspective, to think about someone falling and getting hurt. This helps them make the right decision. But how often do our conversations really lead to growth instead of just ego battles? Often, one or both parties refuse to truly listen. They see dialogue as a competition to win, to confirm their preconceived notions. Instead of genuinely listening, they're preoccupied, thinking about their next response, treating the dialogue as a way to score points. Therefore, rule number 9 is crucial. Assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't. A simple tip to dramatically improve your dialogue skills is to listen first. Then summarize or rephrase what the other person said out loud. This achieves several goals. It ensures you've listened correctly, reinforces information retention, and reduces the likelihood of distorting or simplifying details to fit your own viewpoint. In dialogue, it can sometimes be painful to confront truths, especially when new information forces you to reevaluate your ideas and change preconceived notions. But this is the essential price you pay as part of the beautiful process of learning and growth. Rule number 10. Life's complexity must be confronted with clear and precise language. Life is truly a complex and interconnected fabric. Yet, we often tend to see only the isolated parts that we need to notice. For example, if you're walking and see an apple, it's unlikely you'll think about the branch, the tree, the roots, and the soil, all connected before it fell. The reason is simple. We usually only pay attention to things useful to us, or that get in our way. Apples attract our attention because they're food. We overlook the tree and soil because they don't serve our immediate needs. Of course, we can't think about everything all the time. The world is too complex. So, our mind simplifies things to allow us to carry on. However, every now and then, something happens that shatters our perceptions, making everything seem chaotic. For this reason, rule number 10 is critically important. Use precise language. How can that help you? Let's think about the word car. You're familiar with it, right? It's a means of transportation that takes you from point A to point B. But what happens when the car breaks down halfway? Do you know exactly how it works? Can you open the hood and fix this complex machine? It's likely that when your car breaks down, you feel angry or frustrated, perhaps even wanting to push it. That's because it's no longer just a simple means of transportation. At this moment, things become complex and unclear. Therefore, to fix the situation, you must restore system stability There could be many potential causes. So, you need to tell the doctor your symptoms precisely. Was it a stomach ache? Or was fever the cause? Did the symptoms start after eating something specific? What was that something? By accurately specifying the details, you can restore balance and take steps to improve your condition. Also, using precise language can dramatically improve your relationships. If your partner does something that bothers you, like not cleaning up, being honest and precise in expressing your feelings at the right time will simplify matters and make your lives more harmonious. Rule number 11. Do not bother the youth who are skateboarding. Human nature should not be suppressed. In George Orwell's The Road to Wigan Pier, he reached a crucial conclusion. Socialism in England didn't attract supporters due to empathy for miners, but because of their deep hatred for the wealthy and powerful class. Today, we observe similar attitudes towards patriarchy and masculine leadership. One prominent source shaping this hatred is Max Horkheimer of the Frankfurt School, a leading Marxist thinker and advocate of critical theory. Horkheimer believed education and intelligence should focus on social change, not merely empowering women, but combating and destroying dominant cultural forces, meaning ruling men. Today, in educational courses globally, political action to dismantle our masculine culture is advised. But the focus seems to be on demolition rather than reform or creation. According to Peterson, this approach has led to feelings of anger towards men's behavior, which can become excessively cruel and short-sighted. For example, anti-male accusations are regularly leveled in universities, where men are often considered part of the patriarchal system. But Peterson argues that the path towards just change shouldn't involve treating all men as potential criminals. While many men may have behaved shamefully, he clarifies that men have also used their naturally aggressive dispositions for good, engaging in healthy competition, exploring dangerous territories, and bringing about necessary progress. This reminds him of the skateboarders outside some buildings on the University of Toronto campus. These were amazing skateboarders, showing remarkable courage and a willingness to embrace risks. But city officials decided to ban skateboarding on campus. But what happens when we try to suppress human nature itself? And this leads us to rule number 11. Do not bother the youth who are skateboarding. Human nature should not be suppressed. Rules can sometimes impose restrictions that conflict with our nature as individuals. Our laws should protect our interests, but without suppressing the good qualities that distinguish people. We've witnessed an exciting fictional account of what might happen when men are stripped of their masculinity, as revealed in the movie Fight Club. Aggression can transform into forbidden fruits, manifesting as fascist tendencies. In reality, another reaction to this stripping is the rise of current right-wing politics. The truth is, women don't want boys to grow up deprived of the opportunity for self-learning and gaining independence. Instead, they seek to see a healthy balance that fosters their natural growth. Rule number 12. Life is difficult and full of sorrow. So enjoy the best life has to offer, even its smallest joys. Have you ever faced the challenge of caring for a sick person? This might be one of the toughest experiences a human can go through. Peterson's daughter, who has suffered from severe arthritis since age 6, endured continuous pain, necessitating many injections and joint replacement surgeries. If you had a daughter in such a situation, you might feel that life has been profoundly unfair. But it's vital to realize that pain and suffering, despite their harshness, add greater value to the beautiful moments we experience. Let's take Superman as an example. When this character first appeared, he garnered great admiration, but over time, writers kept granting him increasing power until he became almost invincible. Eventually, readers grew bored with Superman. If adventures have no risks, then his victories become flavorless. Similarly, beautiful moments become meaningless if we don't struggle through difficulties and suffering to reach them. So, how can we find profound joy even when life relentlessly throws its hardest punches? For this reason, it's essential to follow rule number 12. Enjoy the best life has to offer, even its smallest joys. By following this rule, you will be able to embrace life in all its aspects. You will appreciate every beautiful moment that comes your way. This helped her regain better joint movement, recovering a part of her normal life with a noticeable improvement in pain. Although challenges may still exist in the future, she feels happy with the progress she has made. And the more she continues, the happier she becomes. This is the best way to think. It's a way that makes you take a moment to pause and enjoy playing with a cat on the sidewalk. Remember that there is no day, just as there can be no order without chaos. There is suffering in life, but it is what gives meaning to our existence, and it makes moments of stillness full of reward. These rules aren't just advice. They're an invitation to confront the inherent chaos of existence, to find your meaning, and to build a life of profound purpose and strength.